Greater Good Radio. Connect, learn, heal, and grow.
How old were you when you first became a CEO?
I was 36.
Okay.
35?
Can you tell us the story behind that or how that came about?
Yeah. So it was a very small company. It was a startup in First Interstate, and the First Interstate had been the first bank. It was grandfathered, and by that I mean that it was allowed to bank beyond state boundaries. And up until 20 years ago, it was a state by state. So we were one of the few states, 11 western states, that we were able to have First Interstate banks in First Interstate Washington, Oregon, California, Montana, Wyoming, etc., Arizona, New Mexico. So the strategy, Pete Hart, my boss at First Interstate, came up with the idea of franchising banks across the country. And I was running strategic planning for First Interstate, and Joe Panola, the CEO of the holding company, said to me, "This is the craziest idea I've ever heard, franchising banks, but take a look at it." And so I studied it for 3 or 6 months, and then recommended to Joe Panola that we put a franchise program together, and that I recommended that they put me in charge of it, which Joe liked the idea that I was willing to take the risk in starting that. And so I started that in 81. I think it was around 1981 we started the franchise program. Maybe it was 83, 84 when they made me CEO of First Interstate System, Inc. It sounds good, but I think I had all of 12 or 15 employees, so it was a pretty small operation. And that's how I became CEO. From there I went to Oklahoma to do the turnaround.
It's a pretty big jump though, right?
Yep.
So what do you think is, or are the main reasons why they sent you into Oklahoma?
At the time, First Interstate was a great organization doing very well in terms of performance. Without that, we wouldn't have been able to franchise banks, which was really to adopt our name, logo, graphics, colors. If you remember, one of the banks we franchised was American Security Bank here in Honolulu, and turned it to First Interstate Bank of Hawaii. Maybe you're too young to remember that. But within 5, 6 years, we had grown it from a concept to a total number of banks. Let's see, we had 120 offices, $5 billion in assets, and we were in 11 different states. So we had done a great job in taking a concept and making it a reality for First Interstate. So there were some reasons why they let me go to Oklahoma.
If you resonate with Greater Good Radio, please join our community at www.greatergoodradio.com, where you can get access to exclusive content and offerings. Hope to see you soon.